Donald Trump is going ballistic this morning as he is preparing to cave to Iran. Trump is making social media post after social media post, each more deranged than the next. Iran issued its final ultimatum to Donald Trump, communicated through Pakistani mediators who have been in Tehran over the past 24 hours. This would be a deal if accepted by Donald Trump and the United States, which is far worse than Obama's deal. But Donald Trump rushed to hold an emergency call, not with the United States Congress, nor is he addressing the American people, but it's a phone call with Pakistan, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Jordan, Turkey, and Egypt, which is taking place right now. And then rather than address Congress or address the American people about a deal that would be much worse than the Obama non-nuclear deal that Donald Trump pulled us out of, Donald Trump rushes to Barack Ravid from Axios, who does a lot of Donald Trump's propaganda and, in my opinion, causes the markets to be manipulated, whether knowingly or unknowingly. And Barack Ravid posted the following this morning. It's like clockwork, isn't it, folks? Here's what Ravid posted. He's from Axios. Trump told me on a phone call that he's 50-50 when it comes to a deal with Iran or resuming the war. Either we reach a good deal or I'll blow them to 1,000 hells, he said. Trump told me he'll meet today with his senior advisor to discuss the details of the updated draft and may make a decision by tomorrow. I'll blow them to 1,000 hells, is what Donald Trump is saying. And then Axios runs the story, not about the blow them to 1,000 hells, but exclusive. Trump says he's 50-50 on Iran deal or bombs. We'll meet envoys to decide. So more threats of genocide by a genocidal maniac leader in the United States. Donald Trump posting the following on social media. China loves Trump, with a photo of Donald Trump in front of Chinese women holding Chinese flags. Donald Trump posts a map of the Middle East with Iran having the American flag placed over it. Donald Trump posts yet again this image that he's been posting multiple times a day now of himself. It's an AI image of himself looking over in the mountains, I suppose, in Greenland. And it says, "Hello, Greenland." And it's him kind of leering over like the sexual predator that he is. This is a new AI meme that he posted this morning, a very racist meme on Democratic Congress member Ro Khanna. And it's a photo of Ro Khanna with fangs holding a sheep that apparently has money in it. And Ro Khanna, then it says, "Sleazebag Ro Khanna, lies, lies, lies." And then Trump writes, "A Democrat. Don't allow this sleazebag on Fox News." So Donald Trump is so intimidated by Ro Khanna, he's saying, don't allow Ro Khanna to be on Fox News. How pathetic can you get? And then Donald Trump posting photos of himself with Xi Jinping. I want to talk about the offer that Iran gave to Donald Trump. It doesn't alter really anything that Iran has previously said since the beginning of March. I mean, here we are, though, heading in Memorial Day weekend, heading into June, and Iran saying, here's our offer, here's our offer. One more time, Donald, here's the offer. Here's what here's where we're at. U.S. and Iranian negotiators may be extending the ceasefire by 60 days under a mediated deal that would include a gradual reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, but still under the sovereign control of Iran. They would just waive the toll fees, but their port authority controls it. Talks on Iran's enriched uranium stockpile, eased restrictions on Iranian ports, sanctions relief, and the phased unfreezing of Tehran's overseas assets, the Financial Times report. And you may be saying, as I look through these things like details, gradual reopening of Strait, it would also include a commitment to discussing perhaps diluting Iran's highly enriched uranium, whereas under Obama's deal, it was removing the highly enriched uranium and diluting it and having international inspectors make clear that there was no enriched uranium weapons grade in Iran. But now, what a great deal. They're going to discuss a framework to discuss potential diluting. Yay! And they're going to reopen the Strait of Hormuz gradually, which was open before, and Iran controls it. Yay! The U.S. would ease its blockade over the Strait of Hormuz, the blockade of the blockade, okay. The U.S. would also begin an unfazed freezing of Iran's assets. So wait a minute, you all got livid at Obama for unfreezing Iranian assets at a very small amount that frankly predated the revolution and was Iran money to begin with. And now you all are going to do that on steroids times 100. What the art of the deal, folks, the art of the deal. The sequence of events, though, is Iranian officials told Al Jazeera. Trump rushed to Barack Ravid to manipulate the market, but the sequence was an Iranian official told Al Jazeera that Iran reached the draft agreement with Pakistani mediators and was waiting for the U.S. response. This was Iran with Pakistan. MB Ghalibaf, Iran's parliament leader, he was meeting with Pakistan's leader yesterday, and then you had Foreign Minister Araghchi meeting with Pakistan's leader yesterday. That's what actually was going down. I mean, you see the photos of what was happening right here. You know, the Trump regime will say, "Oh, this is what was going on." Let me show you what was going on. Pakistan's army chief Asim Munir met Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi during his visit to Iran, and then here you see Pakistani's army chief Asim Munir meeting with Iran's parliament leader MB Ghalibaf in Tehran as well. So that's actually what was going down yesterday. And they communicated their final red lines. Then Donald Trump calls up Barack Ravid and starts making all of those social media posts right there. So then you had, while this was taking place, Pete Hegseth was at West Point this morning. And Hegseth told West Point graduates, he started quoting Charlie Kirk to West Point graduates this morning. Here's what Hegseth said.
As Charlie Kirk often said, remember always, this too shall pass. The good times will pass. The bad times will pass.
Hegseth's other message was, you can't throw your pronouns against the enemy during war. This was a major part of his speech to our West Point graduates. I mean, to me, this is what you're talking about, man. Here, play this clip.
The battlefield does not grade on a curve, and you can't throw your pronouns at the enemy. Combat is the ultimate test, and our best Americans must ace it.
And then I think another very, very important news, we have what Americans are experiencing right now in this country. As the Kobayashi letter explains, over the last 6 years, the S&P 500 has risen 130%, while U.S. consumer sentiment has collapsed negative 55% to its lowest since data began in 1952. We are witnessing the formation of the biggest wealth divide in American history. But when you actually take a look at this chart, let's be very clear. When Biden left at the end of 2024, consumer confidence was not this low. The consumer sentiment was around 80%, 81, 82%, okay? And it was actually right around where the S&P was. We'll take a look right there at the chart. S&P, consumer sentiment, rising at around the same levels. Right now, under Donald Trump, S&P, consumer sentiment is the worst in history. Since the Consumer Sentiment Report began in 1952 from the University of Michigan, by far consumers feel the worst. Why? Because they can't afford anything. They can't afford their groceries. They can't afford gas. They can't afford homes. They can't afford rent. They're late on credit cards. They don't have health care. We're in a jobs recession right now. But then you've got MAGA Republican Congress members out there like Mike Lawler. That's whose district Donald Trump spoke in yesterday at that deranged speech Trump gave in New York. Here's what he's saying when he went on state regime media. Let's play this clip.
But just coming back to the economy, Congressman, a lot of Americans, I'm sure in your district as well as others across the country, are really still feeling economic pain when they look at their paychecks right now and how they're having to spend it. The president not getting good approval ratings right now. How do you and he fix that before November's midterms?
Look, there are some really positive indicators. Take-home pay is up. The economy, the stock market continues to hit record highs.
Yes, and while the American people are absolutely suffering right now, Here's what the DOJ is also doing. Hat tip to Meryl Cornfield over at the Washington Post. She does a great job. And here's what she uncovered on the DOJ website. The Trump administration is quietly deleting info about Capitol attacks, about the Capitol attack from the DOJ website as it prepares to give funds to January 6ers, right? Donald Trump's $1.8 billion slush fund. Now they're going through the DOJ website and they're deleting all this stuff from the DOJ website that relates to the January 6th insurrection. This week, the DOJ deleted a press release about one man with an ongoing child solicitation case who came to the Capitol with bear spray. And you can see right here, and it's a man named Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate actually pled guilty to child solicitation, a child sex crime in Houston. 10 years he had to register as a registered child sex offender. And you're removing that guy's information from the DOJ website, someone who was involved in assaulting law enforcement, someone who was with bear spray and a metal whip. What the hell's going on here? Well, that's where we're at right now. We'll keep you posted every step of the way, as always. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million. Thanks for watching, y'all.
New Meidas merch drop! Check out the latest pro-democracy sticker packs, t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, and more. All at store.meidastouch.com.